Ay, ay, ay. Boy, finally. All right, topic of the night. Soon game. Oh, my Lord. You gotta give me that. Finally. Let me see this. This card. It's not sure. Gotta kiss me goodbye. You gotta give me that. Excuse me. About what? About what or about who? For whom? For whom? Hey guys, welcome. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, we're talking some serious business tonight. Some serious business, because these things that are going on these days are just too much. Honestly speaking, just too much. Too much. Our little girls are being preyed upon by the men who are supposed to protect them. Brothers and fathers and stepfathers, and it's just ugly. Really ugly. How do we protect our children? How do we protect our daughters in particular? Nowadays, we have to be protecting our sons as well, because the deviance has extended not just from our daughters, but also to our sons as well. And every day it gets worse and worse and worse. Every day we hear of another child. Just this week, I don't know why this is casting a shadow. Not sure. But welcome into the live, guys. We are talking. Should I take that shadow away? But not put the light in my eye. Okay, that might be better, right? That looks a little bit better. Yeah, guys, this is what we're talking about tonight. How do we protect our daughters? How do we protect our children? You know that most children who get molested are not molested by strangers, really. It's usually the closest men to their family. Daddy, stepdaddy, mama's boyfriend, brother. It's usually somebody who is in the household that molests a child. And I'm going to extend it tonight from just daughters to say children, because nowadays boys are just as vulnerable as girls. When I was growing up, we used to say, you can send the boy over Mass Joe, go get something, because you don't have any doubt that the child is going to be safe. The most thing Mass Joe go ask him to do is maybe go through something, give the pigs or something like that. Hey, Toto, how are you doing, my friend Toto? Good to see you, Toto Jaro. Toto Jaro Katikal is in the house, guys. Welcome, Toto. You know, but the little girl, you might send the little girl next door to the neighbor, and the next thing, the little girl comes back all raped up. And oftentimes, the children are not saying, because they are being discouraged from saying what's going on with them, what happened to them. The perpetrator usually, sometimes the perpetrators are threatening, and sometimes they just simply coerces the child into not saying anything, bribe them with gifts and niceties, you know, and encourage them not to speak, not to say anything, not tell mommy, not tell your mother, not tell nobody. This is our little secret. Yeah. And the child in their innocence thinks that, okay, this is something Master Joe do to me, but I know something for me tell. It's something for me to live with. It is something for me to keep as a secret. And that's sometimes the first experience a child has of secret keeping. And it will last them a lifetime. Secret keeping. They're not telling. And when those children grow up and they enter into abusive relationships, now you see how at that impressionable age, the secret keeping remains a part of them. It does. Because from the time they were molested at 2-3 years old, they were encouraged to keep quiet. Don't say anything. It's a secret. When they become adults and their spouse start to beat them, butter bruise them and all that, they are so ashamed because shame has now become a part of them. So they become so ashamed that they're still not telling. They're not calling the police. They're not asking for help. They're not telling anybody because they are so ashamed. So you see how one act can affect another. Just like that. And we wonder why these days we have so many broken people. There are just so many people who are just broken. They're walking around with wounds and hurts from childhood into adulthood. And you wonder why they can't, maintain relationships, why they seem to act out, why they seem to always be angry. You wonder. But oftentimes, it's coming from a deep place, a scar that was inflicted on them in childhood. Welcome to my channel, guys. This is Trev from Trev Essence, and tonight we are talking about how we protect our children. If you are new to my channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for coming. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I hope you find it in your heart to do so, if you so choose. If you are already a subscriber, a regular traveler, I want to say welcome tonight. Thank you so much for your continued support. And if you are one of those who always stand on the outside and look in, I want to say welcome to you as well. Standing out on the outside and looking in is still appreciated. One day you will find it in your heart to kick your shoes off. Come on in, sit on the couch with us. Let us chat about trending events and other things that's going on in our world, because everything that goes on in this world affects each and every one of us. All right? Tonight we are talking about how to protect the children from the predators that are in our family. Hello? You still there? Hello? Oh, hold on there, guys. Let me take care of that. There we go. Okay. So we're going to continue this discussion because this week here we saw where in Jamaica this young man in his 20s molested his 5-year-old sister and his 2-year-old niece, allegedly. That voice note, that video from the mom, who is the woman who is the mom of the 5-year-old and the grandmother of the 2-year-old, has gone viral. It's everywhere, where the mom is saying, you know, she spoke to the child, the 5-year-old, and the 5-year-old told her that the brother touched her inappropriately. Her mom did the right thing, taking her to the doctor, calling the police, doing what she needed to do to protect her child, because that child should no longer be in the same household with that predator. Can't be, shouldn't be. A 5-year-old. Why would a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, a baby? What is it in these men's heads that tells them that they can find sexual attraction in a 5-year-old, in a 2-year-old, in a child, in a baby? Winsome, how are you doing? Good to see you, my dear Winsome. Winsome, Tota in the place with coconut and cornmeal. What's up, Winsome? Oh, no cornmeal, right? Coconut, right? Coconut Toto in the place. Hey, Toto, just forgive me. And we move right along. Of course, Winsome. He's got to be, and he's not alone. That is the thing. He is not alone, because there are many other children, not just in Jamaica, but there are many other children as we speak who are suffering, because family members molested them when they were children. We have grown-ups who are suffering the deep scars of childhood molestation. And we have children right now who are suffering in silence. Children who cannot speak, who will not speak, will not say a word, because they are being discouraged from saying anything. So they're not saying anything. Hold on. They refuse to say anything. The perpetrator is discouraging them from saying anything. They are afraid. They don't want to say anything. Oh, yes, bro, like you're a rope. Winsome, you know, say your mother's going to leave me alone. I never rob a day in my life. No, sir. I don't rob a thing. I didn't lie. Love me now. Not cute, me cute. Love me now. like you know, say I cute, me cute. That I must see me. Yeah, there. Me not rub, man. See there. So I made that rub me on them too. See them and my face the same complexion. What make you justify my complexion to the world in front of Winsome, though, Jesus? Winsome, I do not rub anything. Your mother sit on one side. Leave me alone. You all are so wrong for that. Maybe I the light, man. The light a show me up. But me no rub. Me no do no rubbing. Nothing like that, Winsome. It is my natural color. See there, same as my hand. See there, same as my hand. See there, same complexion, same way. This one not the dark, but this not the light. See there. Let me look cute. Mr. Winsome, I started the light this evening when I was on my way. I was on my way from the aquarium. And I wanted to show you all the journey. And all of a sudden, the phone started saying it was too hot and shut down. I was like, what? What do you mean by it's too hot? Because the phone was charging while I was driving. But the phone shut off. So that messed up my whole. I'm like, no matter what I try, everything I do always crash. Well, I don't know what this. I don't know what this Winsome. Like, me have to go buy some Kalanga water. I don't know why. I don't know why for. I asked my grandmother put it on her head, but I don't know why for. But anyway, I tie up her tied and roast almond leaf and tie it up on her head. I don't know what that for. What that for, Winsome? You would know, right? Roast the almond leaf. Roast 2 big broad almond leaf. And wet up your head with Kalanga water and put the almond leaf on your head and tie you. Nika, do you know what that is supposed to do? I got no clue. But my grandmother was sample. I don't know what that was for. Was it? Oh, didn't it? Yeah. It was, I don't know if it's because I was like, because you know this place is a little remote. So, you know, the internet gets splashy every time you're trying to do something, especially when you're not like in a developed area. You kind of drop and come back, drop and come back, drop and come back. But I say I was starting to enjoy the little live and all of a sudden. Oh, you don't know that one? You don't know it either, Nika? Oh, my Lord have mercy. Nobody knows. That's... I bet you somebody was watching no, but they're not going to tell me. Oh, my... Yes, man. My grandmother was good. We wet up her head with her Kalanga water. And roast the almond leaf. 2 big broad almond leaves, so. You know, almond leaf big and broad. And she would have roast them. Like quail them over the fire. Put them on her head. And tie up her head. And tie up her head. Yes, sir. 3 days. The head have to tie up the head of a wash. 3 days. I must say that's why she lives so long. Fly girl Georgia, how are you doing, my love? Good to see you, sugar. How are you doing, my sister? Yes, Fly girl was on the live with me earlier. The live that crashed the phone. I reached home and I was also trying to upload a video. Did that video ever get uploaded? Let me look. Did anybody see it? Hey, as Prosiago, there is my friend Prosiago in the place. How are you doing, Pro? Good to see you, sugar. How are you doing? Tonight we are talking about how do we protect the children. Oh, the video. They said the video hasn't processed yet to be published on YouTube. Oh, okay. Because I was putting up the video of the video of, you know, that I took the videos of the all the creatures, all those creatures at the place today. If y'all know what I mean, all those creatures at the place today. At the aquarium. Myself for sure no if I was in Miami to get to an aquarium, is a hop, skip, and a jump down the road. Hop, skip, and a jump down the road. And here in North Carolina, 3 hours drive. 3 hours. Thanking God for life, fly girl. Yes, we have to. We have to. Just be grateful. We just have to. Jodine is in the... Oh my gosh. Jodine, how are you doing, Jodine? I'm so glad to see you. How are you doing? How are you doing, my dear? Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. How are you doing? Great. Wonderful. So good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. And all the other travelers in the place, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for stopping by. And we are talking tonight about how do we protect the children. How do we protect the children from the predators that are in our family? In the household. That's where the predators are first, you know. In the household. Yeah. There is the daddy, the stepdaddy, mama's boyfriend, brother, cousin. Oh, okay, Winsome, good night. You're going to church. Oh, tomorrow is Good Friday, right? Yeah. How do we protect the children from the predators that are in the household? Number one, we got to talk to the children. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Some people say, oh, a baby. Even it is a baby. Don't just send your baby, your boy child, to go change your baby's diaper. No. No. Yeah, I said what I said. No, mama, don't do that. Don't send your boy child to go change your baby's diaper and claim that you are teaching him to be a man. There are many other ways to teach him to be a man than to expose your baby's nakedness to them. Frag, when my daughter was younger, I was protected, so people would say I'm overprotected, but I didn't care. She's my one and only. There you go. Yes. Good night, Winsome. I'll see you tomorrow, sweetheart. Be good. Yes, I agree. I agree. You have to protect your children. But one thing I'm always grateful for, my mom always taught since we were as young as I can remember, because, you know, my mom don't have any boys. It's all girls. And she would always tell us, always, don't take money from anybody. Don't take money from no man. No sit on no man lap. Any man touch you here, there, let me know right away. You are not keeping any secret for any man. My mom always told us that, and that's been drilled in our head since we were tiny kids. So that makes me I'm so grateful that I wasn't molested as a child. Thank God. Thank God. I did what I did when I wanted to do it. And I was in charge of that process. And I am so grateful. And when I hear other people say how they were taken advantage of as children, you know, it just hurts my spirit that men out there can be doing this kind of cruelty to young children. Why? What makes a man find a 2-year-old sexually attractive? What makes a grown man find a 5-year-old sexually attractive? That's a child. That's a child. Is it a feeling of feeling powerful, like you have all this power because here you can molest this child, get your own gratification, then you can control this child by telling them not to tell. You can manipulate them in whatever way you want. Is that what it is? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And this day and age, when everybody is coming out, all these men need to be afraid. Yes, all of them need to be afraid. There should be no hiding place for them. I have seen where a lot of people are saying, oh, this mother is out of line for coming. Hey, Asian, how are you doing, darling? So good to see you. I see where some people are saying the mother is out of line because she should not have come on the internet and said the son molested her daughter and her granddaughter. What do you mean when you say the mother is out of line? The mother is not out of line. She's doing the right thing and she's raising awareness, because those of you who are saying the mother is out of line, you are the ones. When your little girl come to you and say, Uncle so-and-so touched me inappropriately, Daddy touched me, stepdaddy touched me, you are the ones who cover it up and cause that child to be continuously abused. To be continuously abused and end up being damaged emotionally and physically. Why? Because you want to keep a secret. What secret? It's not a secret. No, it's not. It ain't gonna be after today. You are not going to be molesting my 2-year-old, my 5-year-old, and it's a secret. And people are going to come for the mother and talk about she shouldn't put this online. Yes, it needs to be, because the rest of you need to hear it. The rest of you need to learn that you should stop covering up for these nasty, worthless men. Yeah. Fly Girl said mothers needs to sit down and talk to their children so that if anything happens, they will come and tell them and not be afraid. Exactly. You need to sit down, talk to the children, tell the children what might happen, counsel the children, and encourage your children to set boundaries. Boundaries for brothers and fathers and stepfathers and boyfriends and whoever, whichever male they come in contact with. I know women are, there are very few incidences of women who are also committing atrocities against children, but most of the time it is men molesting the children. Yes, men seem to have this insatiable appetite for molesting children. Men have this insatiable appetite, like their sex drive is higher than anybody else. Like they got it, they just have to get it on at all cost. All the time, every time, for whatever reason, I'm not sure what is their problem. So since they don't know what is their problem, we are going to highlight it. And that's what mothers should do. Some of these parents nowadays must always be alert when it comes to their children, girls and boys, of course. Be aware of what's going on with your child. Hey, Shauna, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thumbs up. Thanks for the likes, guys. Thanks for the likes. Thank you for the thumbs up, my friends. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate it. And men should no longer feel comfortable. I was listening to, I think it was one of Unstoppable's thing, and the lady was saying how she was molested when she was a child. She was molested. She still carries those scars around into adulthood. You know, she was molested, she was impregnated by what family member? Started molesting her since she was 5. By the time she was what, 13, 14? He impregnated her. That means that child was never encouraged to speak up, to tell somebody what's going on. Or did she tell? And they sweep it under the rug. Just like the people who are coming after this woman who spoke out about her son who molested her daughter and her granddaughter. Too many secrets. Too many secrets. Gonna keep everything a secret. Lord, we don't want this shame. Lord, it's a shame and a disgrace. No, we don't want nobody to know. And while you are there saying you do not want anybody to know, you do not take any steps to ensure that this child is safe from this predator family member. You don't take any steps. So, daddy is still in the house. Stepdaddy is still in the house. Boyfriend is still in the house. Cousin still in the house. Uncle, wherever. You still send the child over to Mass Joe to go do whatever. Go beg Mass Joe one breadfruit. Go beg Mass Joe lunch money. You still put that child in harm's way. In the name of keeping a secret. It's too shameful. No, and not because it's too shameful. It's because you as a mother is licky. Yes. You're licky. Because you have a boyfriend in the house and the boyfriend is providing for you. You don't want to lose the boyfriend. So you rather lose your child. You rather your child be damaged and destroyed for a lifetime than to lose the once upon a time boyfriend who probably gonna leave you anyway. Just remember that. Probably gonna leave you anyway. You understand? When he's done with you and done molest your daughters, finish destroying your daughters' lives, then he moves right along. Mothers, we have to take more responsibilities for our children. And I applaud that mother who came out, and I hope more mothers learn from what that mother said. Yes, man, you must take it up in hand. If it's prison, make him go on a prison. Since he wants somebody to molest and he want secrets to keep, somebody to keep secrets, and he want somebody to molest because he cannot control his sexual appetite. Yeah, make him go to prison because then he will have a secret to keep. Then he will have an appetite to uphold. Oh, yes. So let him go there. Speak up. It is because a lot of people do not speak up why these atrocities continue to happen. Because we do not speak up. Everything is a secret. Uno too secretive. Uno too secretive. And because of that, you all encourage the children to be secretive. Lord, not tell nobody. Lord, me too shame. Not tell nobody. Me don't want nobody to know. Me don't want nobody to know. And you pass this off onto the poor, innocent children. So you don't want nobody to know. And the child picks up on that. That this is a secret that I must keep. This is a secret that I must keep. And the poor child feel obligated to keep this secret. And imagine having to keep this secret at 5 years old. The molestation continues. 6, 7, 8, every time this creature feels the need to molest you, they molest you, and each time you have another secret, another date, and another, maybe the intensity of it has increased. You have all this building up. And you have nowhere to turn. Because mommy already tell you not to tell anybody. Mommy already told you it is a secret. We can't tell anybody because we shame. But did mommy remove the perpetrator from the household? Did mommy remove the child from the situation? No. But they put the blame and the responsibility solely on this innocent child to not say anything, to keep the secret, because them shame, they don't want the world to know, and all of this other nonsense. While who suffers? The child. The child suffers and continues to suffer even into adulthood. Because the scars, these scars, oftentimes are not because they are there, not because the wound has healed. These scars are just covering the surface of a deeper wound that remains festered underneath. Fly girls say, yeah, they need to expose the nasty man them. Yes, I agree. And the women them too, so that other people know and see what this person is doing. Exactly. Because often, I agree with you so much, Georgia, because oftentimes, it's not just this one child. Oftentimes, it's not just the one child that is being molested. Because this individual is probably molesting. If there are sisters in the household, he's probably molesting all the sisters. Because see, this one here that was spoken about this week, he molested the 5-year-old and he molested the 2-year-old. The 5-year-old is his sister and the 2-year-old is his niece. And he molested them both. 2 years old? 5 years old? What kind of gratification can a grown man get from a 5-year-old, a 2-year-old? All of this is cruelty, and people have the gall to be ridiculing this mother for speaking up. Really? Really, people? Think about it. My grandmother used to say, shame on a load, but he broke neck. Well, make it broke neck. Make it broke neck, because these men also need to be taught, the boys need to be taught from a younger age what is appropriate and what is not. And they need to have something to fear. Yes, they need to have something to fear. Let me tell you something. If you touch my child inappropriately, may I call the police? Think about it. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. If you touch my child inappropriately, the police is going to get called. You're going to jail. Yeah. Simple as that. Because the burden cannot just be left on the victim or potential victim. The perpetrator needs to have something to fear as well. So when you have girls and boys in the household, everybody is close together. When boys start to, start to mature, girls are maturing. I mean, unless boundaries are set, they are going to come in contact with each other. Boundaries have to be set. We saw just a few months ago, we saw that family that was what, 19 and counting, and we saw the older brother got sentenced for having molested his sisters. You know, they had a big old house with a whole lot of them, girls and boys. I think it was 20 children, 20 of them in the same household. Yeah, when people are maturing, everybody is, hormonal and all of that, and we are in such close proximity, chances are, it's just like once upon a time back in the day when there were more people living in a one bedroom or more family members sharing one household. People were always, ending up being impregnated by a family member. And that was how the word family ram came about. Because, everybody is on top of everybody. Everybody is living so close together. When your hormones start coming in, you start to mature. Everybody's sexual desires are just so close. Everybody's just so close. You understand? You end up in those situations. Nowadays, the more people, we are more spread out. We don't have everybody living chuck up and bundled up together anymore. We don't have girls and boys sleeping on the same bed. Because when you go to bed, when you go to sleep, that's a very intimate place to be, in bed. So imagine you being in bed with your brother. You are what, 7? This big old 14-year-old, 15-year-old start get up with him get-ups in the morning. And him a roll over and it's his sister that is right there beside him. Him get-ups is touching on his sister who is right there. No, sir. That can't be appropriate. No, sir. That's not appropriate at all. What Grant said, Grant, what's wrong with you? But I agree with you. I agree with you. Yes, some of them need to be castrated. It is ridiculous. And these things continue to happen because people refuse to speak up. People refuse to take actions against these perpetrators. And that is why it continues to happen. It's almost like we are sacrificing the dignity of our children for the sake of privacy. Because you're shame. Because you're shame. No. Nika, you and Sean agree with Grant with that thing? That's how some of them stay and don't know or care how the child feels when they don't address the problem. So many of the times they are traumatized. Exactly. The children are traumatized from childhood and they bring this over with them into adulthood. They bring it over with them into adulthood. And that is why we have so many damaged adults. Trust me. That is why we have so many damaged adults. They didn't just get damaged. Why is this thing doing this? They did not just get damaged in adulthood. They were damaged in childhood. Yeah, they were damaged since childhood. And that scar, that damage has stayed with them. Has stayed with them their entire life. And a lot of them do not get over it. Exactly. I agree with Grandpa. She said to Bobby Tit. You understand? And this is why so many people, you will find also, my friends, that some adults are so afraid to enter into adult relationships. Not because of anything that somebody else has done to them, but because of the wounds that they are carrying around from childhood. They are carrying these wounds around from childhood. And because of that, they cannot establish relationships as adults. They have a hard time. They don't know who to trust. Who must I trust? Who can I trust? When I was 5 years old, I trusted my daddy. I trusted my brother. I trusted this person and that person. And this person did this to me. This person did that to me. Who can they trust? And even in adulthood, they don't trust anybody. They can't trust anybody. And then you blame the children. You blame the individual who has been molested rather than hold the perpetrator responsible, hold them accountable for their actions. Yeah, man, hold them accountable. So those of you who keep saying this mother should not have come out and spoken out about her son having molested her daughter and her granddaughter. Reevaluate. Reevaluate, please, what it means to protect your child. Protecting your child with a blanket of shame is no protection. In fact, you are increasing their vulnerability. Because when you leave them wide open like that, you take no action to ensure that whatever is happening to them stops. And whatever damage is already done is rectified. Maybe you can't rectify it fully, but an attempt is made to rectify it, and they are removed from the damaging situation. Rather than say, oh, me shame, lad. Me shame, not tell nobody. And then this worthless man continue to molest the child. Yes, Sheriff. And some adults tend to have some traits caused by the same childhood trauma, causing several failed relationships in adulthood. Yeah, some people just can't. I was listening to one of Unstoppable, and the lady said that she could not feel like fulfilled sexually because of the trauma she had suffered as a child. You can imagine, as an adult, we are adults longer than we are children. According to this society, your childhood ends at 18. So imagine that you have 60 years of adulthood. And for those 60 years, you are emotionally scarred. You are physically scarred. You don't know which way to turn. It's like your entire life has been damaged, taken from you. For what? For what? Because your brother, because your daddy, because your stepdaddy wanted a few minutes of pleasure so they could damage you? I say, every mother, speak up. Speak up. The more of them that go to jail, the more of them that will learn. The more of them that get called out, make them carry shame. Your innocent child should not be the one carrying around the shame. while they continue to live their life all hunky-dory like nothing happened. Let them be ashamed. Yes. Let them be ashamed to know that this is what they did, and to know that they went to jail for it, to know that they spent time in the pokey, and somebody probably did the same thing to them up there in the pokey. Yeah. So they can know how it feels. I bet you, if we all adopt that attitude to ensure that these men are held accountable, I bet you, I can guarantee you that incidences of child molestation, particularly in the household, in the family, will be reduced. Trust and believe me. It will. Lady B is in the house. Welcome, Lady B. How you doing? Hey, Young Tongue, how you doing? Thank you so much. So true, Trev. That's what's going on with a lot of adults. They can't call and talk about because they don't get any closure. Exactly. They don't get any closure. That is so true. They don't get closure. A lot of times they don't get closure because of they never got the situation addressed. It was never addressed. Why was it never addressed? Because mommy tell them to shut up. Mommy said be quiet. Mommy said not tell nobody. Mommy said we can't tell nobody. We too shame. But mommy take no responsibility for what happened. Mommy did not remove the perpetrator from the household. Not so long ago in my career, I got whiffed of a situation in which the little boy was 14 and the little sister was 5. The little sister was 5 and the 14-year-old molested the 5-year-old. And the mother was at her wit's end. She was beside herself with grief because not only did she have to take the 5-year-old to the doctor, but she also had to, because you know that once you take the child to the doctor and the doctor has identified the molestation, the doctor has a responsibility to call the police. So if the mother even didn't want to call the police had to be called. And they removed the son from the house. He can no longer have contact with that child. And the mother is beside herself with grief. Because of course, yes, it's going to be a life-changing event. Because now you have to get rid of your son out of the house to save your daughter. I know your daughter has traumas that needs to be addressed. So it is a prickly situation for any family, for any mother. But you got to do what you got to do. And that is why I say before it happens, let's try to prevent it. Let's try to prevent it before it happens. Don't say, oh, it's because, oh, I your brother, man. Him can't come in the bathroom and What? Oh, he's your brother. Oh, him can't come in the bathroom in the bathroom. Are your brother? Oh, are your brother? Him can't just come in your room. Once you start being teenagers, wherever you are going to congregate like that, it is going to be in the open, in the family area where everybody is seeing. No sister and a brother now go lock up behind the door here. No. Because you know, as them said, the devil is strong. The devil is very strong. You understand? And when these young men start to get into their feelings, their sexual desires start coming on, unless they are taught right from wrong, and are taught that your sister is out of bounds. This society teach them you better control yourself until you turn 18, you find an 18-year-old. Right? So you control yourself. Either you teach them to control themselves or you give them alternative ways to relieve themselves, but you're not going to relieve yourself on my child. No, you're not going to relieve yourself on your sister. You're not going to relieve yourself on another child who is visiting. No, that's not where you relieve yourself like that. So we're going to provide our sons with alternatives. What kind of alternatives can we provide them with, guys? Chop. Grant. But Grant, the thing is, my friend, I don't want us to wait until it happens. And then we encourage that chop. I don't want us to wait until it happens to encourage that chop. I don't agree with that. I want us to implement measures before that happens to encourage our boys not to see their sisters as sexual bait. Yes, we have to encourage them not to see their sisters or other children in the household in that way. Because it's almost like it's natural. He's a man, he sees a girl, it might come to his mind. We need to combat it before it happens. We have to be proactive now rather than reactive. We can't wait until the young man, molests the child and then we say, oh, no, we're going to castrate him. Oh, no, we're going to do this. Oh, no, we're going to do that. No. I am all for prevention. We cannot say that men, well, we're not going to have women, young girls and young boys in the same household, because we know that we're going to have girls and boys, sisters and brothers, whatever family relationships, they're going to be in the same household. They're going to be moving around in close proximity to each other. We know that is going to happen. Now, how do we take the sexual desires out of it is the question. Because there is no way you can stop a boy or a girl from having those desires. It is natural. But we want them to use those desires in what we have deemed as a society in appropriate fashion. An appropriate fashion does not mean that they take it out on their sisters and nieces and younger female members of the family. No, that's not what it means. So we have to help them to find ways. Grant, if you had a son that is 14 years old and he is in that stage, you have, say, 2 younger children, female children. What's the conversation would you have with your son? You can't wait until you go chop, because I'm sure you're not going to want to chop your son. You're not going to want to castrate your son. You're not going to want to do that. If the situation arises, you're not going to want to do that. So what would you do before that happens to minimize the chances of it happening? Because you can do everything in the world and it still happen. But you have to take action. If you didn't take any action to ensure it did not happen, then when it does happen, you have a responsibility to take action to ensure it doesn't happen again. And that would mean that this is the time that you're going to involve the law. Because they can't come up with a rule and say, well, households that have girls and boys, we are going to separate them, and a family can no longer have girls and boys in the household. That would be absolutely ridiculous. That would be absolutely foolish. You cannot say you cannot have girls and boys in the same household. But how do we minimize the chances of the boys molesting the girls? And oftentimes, guys, before I forget this, oftentimes you will notice that if the girls are older, the chances of molestation are less. Because the older girls take care of the younger boys, the younger brother. They take care of them in a sort of a motherly fashion. Unless they are close in age, that situation don't usually arise. But it usually does when it's flipped. When the brothers are older than the sisters, that's when the situation usually occurs. I'm not sure if the brothers feel like they feel powerful. They feel like, because I am older, I can do this because I am older, I'm bigger, I'm stronger. Not sure. But as parents, we have a responsibility. Parents, we have a responsibility to ensure that it does not happen. We have a responsibility. Sometimes parents have to, hey, Julian, how are you doing? I know that as parents, we have to, go to work. We have to leave kids together sometimes, stuff like that. But we have to take steps, regardless of the circumstances. We have to take steps as parents to minimize the chances of this happening, because it is irreversible. Can you imagine when a woman becomes an adult and she's wanting to enter into a relationship, voluntarily enter into a relationship, and she has this scar to think that the one thing that she was given at birth, that she should determine who she shares it, who she allows to rupture it, was taken from her forcefully at 5 years old by her brother. Can you imagine? What is she supposed to do now? Because it cannot be replaced. What is she supposed to do now? Some people can move on, live on, bury the secret deep down and continue their lives without batting an eye. But not everybody is capable of doing that. Not everybody. Some people will say, oh, the damage already done. There's nothing I can do about it. Some people have that kind of resilience. But there are others who don't have that kind of resilience and will walk around with that scar forever, wishing that they could take it back, that they could roll back the hands of time. So guys, if there is nothing else that you take out of this live tonight, if there's nothing else you take out of this live, take a look around you. Look at the children who depend on you, the children who are in your care, the children for whom you are responsible. Ask yourself, am I doing enough to protect this child, to protect these children? Am I doing enough? Am I having the right conversation? Because you need to have the right conversation with the boys, with the girls. No secret keeping. Don't sit in any man's lap. Some of these women, as soon as they meet one man, them drag the man come home. Go on the street, got your man and leave and bring the man come round the picnic them. You understand? Leave the man a street. And you run carry the man home and the poor pitney, uncle this and uncle that and uncle this and uncle that. And all of a sudden, pitney up in a man lap and man a give pitney money and all these things. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing this kind of foolishness to the children? I know someone that asked her friend to stay with her daughter until she gets back from the store. And the guy's with a little 5-year-old and he's 17-year-old. He got love and exactly. Why you would leave your child, your 5-year-old child? I tell you people, no trust no man. Stop. Stop trusting. Stop being so trusting. Take your child with you. Stop being so trusting. Because oftentimes it's the people you trust. Oftentimes it's the people you trust. Your neighbor. Anytime you see a grown man taking particular interest in a child, raise some eyebrows and raise some cane if you need to. Because no grown man not supposed to be taking no interest in children. No, there's a line to be drawn. Draw it. Clearly. Yes, there is a line to be drawn. Draw it clearly. Don't give my child any gifts. Don't give my child anything. Do not offer my child anything. Do not pick up my child.